Hello everybody, it's Mystic, and welcome back to my library. This is another episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, and in the last episode we are meeting and getting to know all of the Loporrits and a little bit more about Bestway's burrows. However, we do know that Erianj is up to something, and we've kind of been tasked with figuring out what exactly he is doing. So I am here and about to search for him, so let's get going. I still feel like the forum is involved. Who else would be sending everybody this stuff? Erianj appears to be heading towards the entrance to Bestway's burrows. How does he not see me with the giant door opening? I know I'm small, but come on. Erianj ventures off into the Merry Lemon Torum for reasons unknown. You must tread carefully, else he might send— Oh no, not this again! Not this again! Oh, do you know how badly I failed at this last time? Oh, okay. It didn't take that long this time. Phew, this one was way less of a pain in the butt than the other one.
Thine arrival is timely as ever.
Yeah, if you knew it was me.
Thou didst chance to overhear my conversation with Living Way, I presume?
Yep.
'Twas not mine intent to move in shadow.
Except you just did.
I have been asked to do that and more yet again. Is it so plain that these strangers could intuit it at a glance? My capacity for silence and secrecy and duplicity?
I mean, I feel like the silence and secrecy thing is something that Thancred would be better at, but okay.
And Grahatir did contrive to deliver the first at the price of his own life. I was complicit in the scheme. A sacrifice averted for a mercy. Would that I could say the same for Menphilia. One life for one world. And by that bloody bargain brokered by my hand were the scions robbed of a dear comrade, and Flamine her beloved daughter. Two souls whose selflessness was beyond measure, whose resolve was unshakable. They would not be moved even had I thought to protest. But protest I did not. Far from it. I pushed them forward.
Yeah.
No effort did I make to seek out alternatives. Ones that would not demand such terrible costs. That resignation weigheth heavy on my mind, as does the memory of another lost to mine inaction.
Moonbrita.
Dearest Moonbrita, who did face death unflinching, that we might secure a means to bring low the Ascians. In her hour of need, I did naught. Dutiful disciple of Louisoix, ever looking to the greater good. Had I shut mine eyes and bid her live instead, mayhap she would be with us today. Selfish wants, born of everlasting regrets. Most days I put them from my mind, but could think of naught else when asked to swallow the same bitter draught. Subterfuge and sacrifice. Mayhap the right moral choice, but one I regard with great trepidation.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I don't know why you keep getting put into this situation.
The calamity of Amarot was a tragedy beyond reckoning. One which must never again come to pass. Thus must we struggle, haunted by ghosts of those we have lost, clinging to those we pray we can yet save. But what of those we cannot? How do we make peace with the dreadful algebra of necessity?
Sometimes there is no right answer. Have faith in yourself and your decisions. Take heart and protect those you can. Would that we had time to weigh the costs. I'm going to say there is no right answer. Because there really isn't.
I am not alone in my discomfort, then?
Nope.
'Tis surprising, though perhaps not. We Scions are wont to debate strategy at length, but are resolute and unwavering in execution. Strange. Scarcely can I remember when last we spoke alone, and so candidly.
It's true, we don't actually get a lot of time to just chat.
I thank thee. For all my supposed skill with words, I find it difficult to express such private thoughts. As for the Loporrits' proposition, I will take time and consider how to respond.
I mean, I think you should do
It would be
it.
to our mutual benefit if we could converse more openly with our aspiring caretakers.
Because we need to find out who's sending them this stuff, even though I kind of know who it is.
A concern I should be glad to address on the Scion's behalf. To dispense with all pretense and bare one's heart to another is a frightening thing indeed. But we cannot move forward ere we take that bold first step. A lesson I have learned many times before. And today.
What are they saying? Curse these ears! I've heard bugger all! No matter. We've got our plans.
Are they good or bad? What's happening? What? I mean, I feel like, no, they probably are fine, but what the heck are they planning to do? In truth, my reason for traveling hither was to effect a plan of mine own, a plan which may pave a way forward for us all. May, I say, for there is no guarantee of success. 'Tis the reason I set out alone, that failure should it come would be mine alone to bear. Yet thou standest before me with proffered hand and open heart. 'Twould be remiss of me to refuse thy amity, and so I ask, would thou join in mine endeavor? Sure. Setting things straight. I thank thee for accompanying me. 'Tis a simple plan, in truth. We shall not be long away from Bestway's burrow. Difficult decisions must needs be made in the coming days, but I nevertheless believe we are of one mind in all our desire to save the people of Atheros. To make clear our resolve of the Loporrits, I would offer them a gift, but its making doth require a most singular ingredient. Ah, an abundance of spongeoy. Excellent. I chanced to spy this aggregation when crossing Zodiark's erstwhile prison. Using a spell taught to me by the new Mo, I believe these shall suffice in the gift I would fashion. The magic requireth considerable concentration, however. Might I prevail upon thee to stand watch while I perform the incantation? Surveying the nearby area, you see no sign of potential threats. This would be a good opportunity to see how Erianj is faring. Erianj remains fixated on his work. I like how I've got my hands on my hips, like, yeah, you stand back, everyone. There, 'tis done. A magicked ink, every ounce as efficacious as that crafted by the Numo. Rare is the occasion I would conjure mine own, but it is nevertheless a most useful skill. The resulting product is admittedly possessed of no preternatural properties, but its hue is of mine own choosing, which I pray the Loporrits will appreciate. Celeste, Erianj, oh thank goodness, I thought you had been eaten or had perhaps fallen into a crater. Y'shtola has been looking all over for you, Celeste. She says she needs to speak with you about something most urgent. I don't trust you! I don't trust you at all. What is happening? She was also quite clear that she wishes to speak with Celeste alone, which means I'm afraid you must stay behind. You are being obvious as heck right now, Living Way. But worry not, it just so happens we need your help with an errand, delivering a package from the Watcher's Palace to Bestway's Burrow. It's quite large and heavy, perhaps even too heavy for we poor Loporrits, and we would be ever so grateful if you could lend us a hand. That's convenient. Yeah, suspiciously convenient. Are you insinuating I would betray the trust of Hydaelyn's chosen? Or worse, do anything to risk getting on Y'shtola's bad side? Fair point. She's clearly not one to be crossed, nor made to wait. Now off with you. Worry not, Celeste. I shan't be long. I don't know. They seem suspicious. Oh, Celeste, we thought you'd be away for far longer. Yeah, you didn't need me. A dire emergency? I said no such thing. But as you are here, I could use your assistance with one small matter. Running Way, a companion of Growing Ways, apparently has much to tell us of the final days. The problem, however, is that he seems determined to live up to his name, refusing to stay still long enough for us to hold a conversation. Is there anywhere he's likely to stop and rest, or perhaps there's a way to slow him down? What's the rush? I was thinking we could wait here, maybe enjoy a cold mug of carrot juice and... No? Well, if it's really that important, you could try using these balls of moose flesh. Not to be confused with the other thing. Anyway, Runningway's other notable feature is his incessant chatter, so you'll have no trouble finding him in a crowd. And when you do, try lobbing your balls at him. Okay. Crude, but if it proves effective... He was here in the Greatest Endsvale when I last saw him. Let us split up and find him. You're trying to keep us busy, Growing Way. You're all being very suspicious. Yes, I'm Running Way. Do you mind explaining why you hit me in the face with your balls of moose flesh? Oh my god. Can we stop with the balls jokes? I am highly knowledgeable about the final days. That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard since I woke up. Who told you that joke? As if we've got time to look into the final days when there's so much to do before the Great Voyage. It's true that Hydaelyn did impart to us some knowledge of the event, but I know as much as any other Loporrit around here. Less, probably. I don't know why anyone would think it's funny to go around telling people I'm an expert, but they'd better hope I don't get my paws on them. Yeah, this whole thing was just a colossal waste of my time. Sorry I couldn't be of more help, but there's nothing else. I've got work to do. And I'm off. I could find neither hide nor hair of him. How did you fare? I found him, but he didn't know anything. So he knows no more than the others. Yeah, about that. Care to explain yourself, Growing Way? Well, you see, I misremembered. Yes, that's it. I misremembered. Terribly sorry about that. Afraid I'm drawing a blank, though. Try as I might, I can't remember who I was thinking of. On an unrelated note, what of Erianj? I assume you spoke to him earlier, but what did he say? When did he say he'll be returning? On his way to the Watcher's Palace with Living Way. Between Growing Way's sudden lapse of memory and our lack of other leads, maybe our time would be better spent lending Erianj a hand. What? Now hold on a moment. It's all coming back to me. Yes, I remember. The information you're looking for is in the archives. Yes, that's where you'll find all sorts of knowledge, including that pertaining to the final days. No, why are we believing him? Can we stop? Oh, what to do. I promised Living Way I would help, but... No, I promised I'd help, so that's what I'll do. The archives are on the second floor of the main plaza, the eastern wing. Follow me. I suspect the Loporrits are up to something, but if there is aught to be learned on the final days, I think we best play along. For now, at least. I don't know, Y'shtola. I don't trust them. The archives are right through this door, but it seems to be locked. Of course they are. I guess we'll just have to go and find whoever has the key. Growing Way, enough. If you have naught else to tell us of the final days, you need only say so. We can ill afford to be wasting time here, as you well know. Did you yourselves not tell us we must act quickly? Yes, we did, but the moon was to be a perfect paradise for the people of Theros, and we were running out of time to make everything ready for their arrival. We hoped you'd see the wonders we have to offer, but you found nothing but faults and flaws in our work. Only one of you saw our potential, so you others must be kept here. Ah, so that's the Living Way's game. Run us about in circles, and failing that, lock us away so we can't put the plan at risk. Everyone except Erianj. He understands what is at stake, what must be done. I fear you've misjudged us, Growing Way. Never have we decried the notion of using the moon as a means of escape. That said, my heart breaks at the thought of abandoning Theros and her reflections to their doom. If there is a way to avert the final days, I wish to find it. We all do. We may fail, but our efforts would never be at the expense of your plans. But why would you take that risk? There's no room for ifs and maybes now. The people of Theros will escape here to the moon. They'll be safe, and we'll finally get to see all their happy, smiling faces. I'm sorry, but we can't let you leave. We just can't. What? I'm fighting them. Are you kidding me? Do what you must, but try not to hurt them. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. Don't do anything rash while I'm gone. You gotta be kidding me right now. If we dally, they'll overwhelm us with sheer numbers. I say we knock these ones out, split up, and make our ways to the exit. Agreed. Let us reconvene where Argos waits outside. Hopefully Argos is still there. I guess I'm fighting. Okay, good luck, y'all. Oh no, I'm actually fighting Growing Way? Okay, I think I've done it. Speak with Yashtola. Good, you're here. We best hurry to the Watcher's Palace and find Erianj.
And what, pray tell, do we seek at the Watcher's Palace?
Oh, come off it, friend. You know full well why we're here. The time has come for you to return to Etheris and help your brethren prepare for their journey here and beyond.
Forgive me, Living Way, but I cannot in good conscience proceed with this plan.
Huh? But what about the final days? The death and the doom? Oh, we have to hurry before it's too late.
Your unflagging commitment to your duty is endearing, to say the least.
Oh good, we're here.
Oh, bugger!
Be at ease. They bear you no grudge, nor do I. How could we, having come to understand your purpose? For millennia, you and yours worked tirelessly towards the singular purpose of this heavenly
They look so
vessel's
scared.
construction. An arduous feat by any measure. 'Tis clear you have spared no effort. Why, your very names are a testament to your dedication.
Our names? I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at.
Names are an expression of the self, a declaration of one's hopes and aspirations. Your use of contemporary, uncomplicated nomenclature doth ensure clarity of purpose.
That's what... I think he said that, or Thancred said that. Somebody said that to Reen.
There can be no doubt that your love for the people of Etheris is boundless and pure.
Yes! Yes! A most mellifluous phrasing. We Loporrits were born of Hydaelyn's love for Etheris.
Yay! Can we stop fighting now?
That shining, shimmering blue jewel, brightest star in the sky, brimming with life and possibilities. For as long as I can remember, I've toiled in anticipation of the day when this vessel might be needed. All I've ever wanted was to meet those she cherished so dearly, to serve and serve well. That goes for all of us, don't you see? So help us. Help us help them. Lead them here where we can keep them safe. If there's anything wrong with what we've built, we'll fix it. We'll make it right.
Your works want not for repair. Yet there remaineth much for you to learn of men, and your own kin besides.
Yeah.
Singing Way, thy name bespeaketh more than the simple marriage of rhythm and rhyme. The songs of Etheris are beyond counting, and span the length and breadth of emotion. Maps are monuments to man's pioneering spirit, and his devotion to charting the furthest reaches of our star. Many have devoted their lifetimes to exploratory pursuits, to venture unto the highest mountains and the deepest oceans in search of unknown frontiers. And thou, my friend, I do not think we've met.
My name is Pudding Way.
Pudding Way! You might be my new favorite.
Pudding Way? Yes, indeed. A name of deep and abiding significance, I'm sure. But one perhaps better communicated through delicious deeds than tasteless words.
Yes, make the best puddings you possibly can.
A judicious application of fey magics at a later juncture may be appropriate. And living way. 'Tis no easy feat to convey the significance of thy moniker. When I was a bookish boy, a dear friend of mine was fond of peppering me with questions as I read, to my occasional annoyance. One day, I posed to her a question of mine own. What doth it mean to live? After much contemplation, she proffered this answer. The anticipation of a half-read story's conclusion. The hope today's mistake may serve as tomorrow's lesson. The wish that a new acquaintance may one day call thee friend. She believed it to be all these moments and more.
I'm assuming he's talking about Mombrita.
I want to understand, but...
I, too, still labor to find mine own answer. 'Twould be my pleasure to assist you and yours in embarking on a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment.
I like how everybody's just finding themselves now. This is great.
For thee. Ink as blue as the waters of Aetheris. Made in haste, though I assure thee, the quality has not suffered for it. The people need not be persuaded by honeyed words. Nay, I have faith they shall do what is right in due course. Until they do, I beg your patience, friends. And with that ink, let us fill the empty pages of Livingway's compendium. An open exchange of ideas will surely afford you all a better understanding of modern man, and with it, ideas for improvements and renovations. But more importantly, it shall empower us to together find a way forward.
I hope you're right. Thank you for this lovely gift.
There you have it. I shall remain with the Loporrits to ensure that all is in order.
Okay, don't get into too much trouble.
Though we must needs prepare for every eventuality, you would all agree that the evacuation of our star is a last resort. To accept failure is to accept the demise not only of our star, but that of Reen's, of all reflections, and the souls that call them home. Which is why I have every faith that you shall fight to the last. That such drastic measures may prove unnecessary.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that that's what we're hoping.
Should the worst come to the worst, and I pray deeply that it won't, I'll take comfort in knowing preparations were made under your watchful eye.
Aye, thou mayest be assured that if calamity cometh, not a soul will be left behind. If being the operative term.
Oh, hey, my flower. It's orange. That flower, how came it into your possession? Well, you see, Heidelin kind of sort of gave it to me. How very like her. Guided by its light, you may come to know her true intentions, intentions which remain a mystery even to us. In our time, we called it Elpis. You would do well to remember the name.
I hate to interrupt, but I feel like I need to make amends for all the secrecy.
Yeah.
Think nothing of it. We haven't been the most gracious of guests. Do convey our apologies to Growing
Oh,
Way and
yeah,
the
I
others.
hope he's okay.
But of course! And when next we welcome more guests from Atheris, we'll have learned to be much more hospitable hosts.
Okay.
Oh, and circling back to the matter of inappropriate secrecy, we ought to discuss our benefactors.
Yes, the forum.
Agreed. The Sharlayan Forum, yes?
Thank you. I'm so glad I knew that she knew this. It's like, come on, if I could figure this out.
What? How did you know?
The more I heard, the more obvious it became. The Forum's aims align closely with those of your anonymous patrons. A telling coincidence would be an understatement.
Yep.
Though had we not taken it upon ourselves to peruse certain restricted tones in Labyrinthos, we might still be unaware of their plans. But let us continue this discussion upon our return. I dare say we have kept Alphino and the others waiting long enough.
Yeah, let's get them, what's the word I'm looking for? Up to date. Let's get them up to date on what we're doing. 'Twas a relief to see Livingway was pleased with my gift of ink. To serve and serve well, though their knowledge may be lacking, their boundless love is a blessing without peer. It will be no easy task to prepare them from what needs be done, but gladly do I embrace this duty, even if it doth necessitate that we part ways for a time. Forgive me my absence, but I have the utmost faith in you, and all our fellow scions. When next I return to Atheris, I pray I find you in good health and good spirits. Oh, Erianj, I'm gonna miss you and your long-winded ways of speaking. Oh, it actually wasn't. Okay. Although it probably is still. With the Loporrits in Erianj's capable hands, we needn't worry about affairs here in our absence. Knowing now the face of their earthly collaborators, there is much to discuss with Alphino and the others. Let us return to the Tower of Babel. Our battle for the star will soon begin in earnest, and we must be prepared. Okay. Gods, I can scarcely believe we went to the moon and back. But we'll have time to reflect on that later. Right now, we need to head back to Camp Broken Glass and deliver a thoroughly detailed report to Lucia. I'd very much like to know how everyone is getting on here as well. They'd only just begun to treat the tempered prisoners when we left. I share your curiosity, but warning our allies of the final days is of greater importance. I speak not only to the contingent, of course. The heads of state of every nation must know what we have learned. We know not when or where or in what manner the final days will begin to manifest, and so we must see that everyone is prepared. Agreed, though we may wish to proceed to stress the importance of discretion, lest the public be sent into a panic. Not that anyone in a position of responsibility should need to be told as much, but it bears repeating. Anyway, first things first, let's head to Camp Broken Glass. It's good to see you all again. No worse for your lunar adventure, I hope. We've done what we can for now, and believe me, we intend to tell you all about it. But before we do, might you tell us what's become of Garlemald in all our absence? We succeeded in subduing the tempered inside the Tower of Babel. We took many alive, but combined with those who were already in our custody, the number requiring care has grown exponentially. The inclement conditions here have made it difficult, if not impossible, to treat them all here, and so we have petitioned the aid of the allied nations. Some are, understandably, hesitant to proffer assistance, particularly those that were but recently subject to imperial occupation. That said, several others have agreed to grant them refuge for treatment. With the assistance of your fellow scions, we endeavor to see them safely transported and subsequently cared for in their tempering. Will all the tempered be relocated? Not all, no. We have sufficient shelter to attend to those whose treatment has begun, and enough healers have volunteered to remain until their patients have recovered. Eulis is one such patient, though he is not yet fit to receive visitors. Truth be told, it was a miracle he and those in his company were not harmed in the chaos. If not for Alphino and Alizé's timely assistance, I dare say none of them would be with us today. In light of recent developments, have the Alliance leaders come to any decisions regarding Garlemald? Given the tremendous ramifications of what has happened here, it will take time to determine what must be done. In the meantime, they intend to work with the Eastern Alliance to keep a close watch over the provinces. We have other news to share. Shortly after Anima was defeated, we received reports that each and every tower has vanished. Interesting. For Mercy, the process was apparently not quite as violent as that which you experienced in Thavnair. Those who were trapped within them have been rescued and receiving treatment. To hasten this endeavor, the beast tribes have received instruction on the magics needed to care for the tempering. Master Matoya is no doubt thrilled the Mother Porxie affords her so many visitors. Yes, we are grateful for her ongoing efforts, as well as those of our comrades near and far. As for the contingent, several of our members have been granted leave to return to their homelands after the transfer of the Tempered have been completed. Lucia and I will remain, along with a small force, to continue offering aid to those here in Garlemald. The Empire may be no more, but there are yet those who call these lands home. I believe that accounts for recent events here. So what of the moon and the Loporrits? Well. So you see, I accidentally caused the end of the world. Kind of a mistake. Please forgive me. The final days. Gods, I prayed your victory would mark the end of our troubles. There is much we do not know, but the Alliance leaders must be told. Would you be willing to contact them in our stead? Yes, of course. I will send word forthwith. We'll also release your fellow Scions from their present duties that they may return to Sharlayan. Your energies are better spent finding a means to avert the coming apocalypse. Speaking of your fellow Scions, you will be happy to hear that Mistress Kryle, though still on the mend, has been moved to the Baldesian Annex and given into Tataru's care. Thank you. I look forward to seeing them both upon our return. Let us be on our way, then. Back to Sharlayan we go! One last thing, if I may. After your confrontation with Zodiark, you said Xenos took his leave, and in all likelihood he has returned here to Garlemald. I have a mind to dispatch scouts to try and ascertain his whereabouts, but first wish to ask if you believe there is merit in doing so. I wouldn't risk anybody. If they found him, they would likely not live to tell the tale. If you're expecting a trail of destruction to follow, you won't find one. An admirable but futile endeavor. I'm going to say this one. I want to just warn him off of it completely. I suppose you're right. To dispatch good soldiers in pursuit of such a beast would be to send them to their deaths. Pray forget I entertain the notion. While on the subject of Xenos, the 10th Legion has made an official proclamation. They denounce the Crown Prince and condemn his role in the Empire's downfall. His very title has become a source of shame among his former subjects, and its continued use serves only to hinder relations with foreign nations. For this reason, he has been declared as Xenos Viator Galvus, outcast and enemy of Garlemald. Well, okay, that's something, I guess. Fandaniel is no more, and now his own people turn against him. It seems he's not but his bloodlust to keep him company. 'Cause that, I'm sure, is better than his obsession over me. It's just gonna get worse, isn't it? Better than an army to see it sated. At any rate, I will not keep you any longer. I pray you safe passes back to Sharlayan. Welcome back, Celeste. We were so terribly worried about you. Though it is plain I have caused my own fair share of worry, and for that I apologize. Heidelin called to me that day when you entered the Tower of Babel. Her pleas were faint but desperate, and I knew at once she required a vessel to carry out her will. What came after feels like a dream barely remembered, my body flowing through the life stream toward Garlemald. When I regained consciousness, I was all aches and frostbite, exhausted of ether. So exhausted, in fact, I can only laugh, for it was in that moment I understood Raha's weariness of the Tower of Zot. Would that I could laugh at a time like this. Though we prevented Zodiark from being unleashed upon the world, I am curious to know what else took place there on the moon. A lot of bad things, actually. Perhaps we should wait for the others to join us before you give your account. Let us reconvene in the main hall once they've arrived. Sorry to have kept you all waiting. Not at all. We understand you've been quite busy. Will Erianj be joining us? No, he's still on the moon. Duty keeps him away, I'm afraid, though Celeste can explain why better than I. Long story short, he is helping a bunch of bunny people to save our lives. There. I hope that helps. Not to be confused with the tall bunny people, but like the short... These are basically like Lalafell bunny people. The final days, as befell Emirat. And we are to escape via the moon? What of the source and its reflections? Yeah, about that. I have no intention of standing by while the world falls to ruin. How do we stop this? Unfortunately, we have no answers at present. If the celestial currents have grown stagnant, as was the case in the time of Emirat, the solution would be to alter the flow of ether throughout the entirety of the star. The ancients accomplished this by summoning Zodiark, sacrificing half the star's population in doing, but it should go without saying that such a sacrifice must not, cannot, be repeated. which leaves us with the daunting task of identifying the underlying catalyst for the final days, a feat which even the Amaratians could not accomplish. Unfortunately, we found no clues in the Mare Lamentorum. There is still much we do not yet know about the catastrophe itself, let alone what may have caused it. The final days were marked by the corruption of the Amaratians' creation magics, but we command no such power, which invites the question, what havoc is in store for us? If we knew that much, perhaps we could draw some parallel with the events of the past, and thereby form the semblance of a plan. Perhaps we should start with the Forum, then. Having worked with the Loporrits in secret all this time, there is surely more they can tell us. Hello. Forgive the interruption, but I have urgent news. The Forum is holding a public assembly in the plaza outside, some sort of announcement. What is Father up to now? There's only one way to find out. Alright, let's see what they're up to now. And still we hear the Ascian music whenever the Forum is involved. Why?
Order! Order, I say! I thank you all for gathering here on such short notice. This day we must speak of grave affairs and their implications for the future of Sharlayan, nay, of this very star. Said affairs concern all citizens, and so we have called for a public assembly.
They're about to start like a public chaos. They're going to tell everybody about what's happening, which was exactly what was not supposed to happen.
You may have heard rumors of the Loporrits and the havoc these madmen wreak abroad.
That's exactly what they're doing. I'm starting to worry that... because Sharlayan has always been very closed off. They have like this whole underground area. They don't want anything to do with people outside. Are they planning on using this ship just for themselves? Because I feel like that's possibly where this is heading.
Under normal circumstances, we would pay little heed to petty disturbances outside our borders. The final days, however, are another matter altogether. For we dare not ignore these prophetic words of Eld. The End-bearers will come, ushering chaos and calamity. The final days descend and devour the very star.
I've never heard this prophecy.
Is it true? Will all that really happen?
Calm yourselves. The time has come to speak of the Forum's most sacred duties. But first...
Give voice to the voiceless. Let bindings be unbound. By unanimous decree, I declare the enchantment broken.
What? What?
Master Leveilleur, if you would.
Very well.
What was that? Oh, that's why that's what they couldn't talk about. They were literally unable to talk without getting force choked.
270 years ago, our forebears began an expedition in the Dravanian hinterlands, in search of a route to access the ethereal sea. This much is public knowledge. Their findings, however, would become the Forum's most closely guarded secret.
This is where this is the books that we were reading.
What those researchers discovered in the hinterlands was not a passage unto the ethereal sea, but the very heart of our star, and Hydaelyn herself. She spoke to them of a calamity that would extinguish all life, and of a means by which we might be spared.
The heart of Hydaelyn isn't Hydaelyn, though. Isn't it Vana?
The moon. 'Tis in truth a gargantuan vessel built to serve as sanctuary for her children and deliver them from this doom. Much like Nunkref's hope in ages past, it will bear the people of a world in the throes of death to a new home.
This is also what the books were talking about, but it was just the people of Sharlayan in that time,
Needless to say, this will be no small undertaking. To facilitate the great work, the Forum has maintained close contact with the servants of Hydaelyn, who presently reside on the moon. Convinced that the foretold end was all but inevitable, we began amassing a wealth of knowledge. Not merely for the betterment of our nation, but in preparation for the journey to come.
You reveal this to us now? By the gods, how long do we have?
While we cannot say with certainty, we believe the hour to be nigh. We received a transmission from the moon suggesting as much not long ago. Which is why we must in earnest begin preparations for the great exodus.
And they haven't told anybody else about this.
For his impressive contributions and the leadership he demonstrated during our withdrawal from Dravania, we have elected Master Leveilleur to oversee this initiative.
Fellow scribes and scholars, my countrymen, we face a threat of unprecedented scale. We must challenge the trials before us with composure and conviction if we are to find salvation. The wisdom of Sharlayan has ever been a shining beacon in the darkness, and so it shall continue to be.
Without anyone else to be there, right?
It is our solemn charge to see our heritage preserved for future generations. For those who will come after, we will brave a new frontier.
That's exactly what they're saying without saying it. I know where this is going.
Administrative edicts will be relayed to all major institutions ere long. In the meantime, carry on with your duties. With that, I hereby call this assembly to a close.
Nobody's asking the question.
Do you remember what Mother told us when we visited home? That it wasn't until after we were born that Father seemed to lose himself in his work.
Because he wants to make sure they're able to...
If that great work of his was the evacuation of this star, then...
Yes. It wasn't for his benefit. Would you mind waiting here a moment? I wish to speak with Father before we leave.
Take your time. I mean, I don't know. Am I judging them wrong? I feel like that's what's happening. But if he is doing this to protect his kids, and he couldn't say anything... I don't know. I'm trying to figure this all out. I'm still not sure I trust them.
I have a few choice words to share with Father as well.
So, come to call us cowards and bid us join your fruitless battle against the inevitable.
Dude, can you just give it a rest for like 1 moment, please?
Nay. We do not object to the Forum's proposal. On the contrary, those who wish to flee have every right to do so. Erianj is cooperating with your associates on the moon to ensure that all is ready should evacuation be our only recourse.
Then whatever your business, I suggest you be brief.
Though we cannot boast the boundless wisdom of Sharlayan, we have first-hand knowledge of foreign cultures, and have conversed with no small number of peoples. These experiences have taught us fundamental truths that cannot be recorded in any tome, nor charted on any map. The beating heart of this planet is its people, many of whom would give anything, even their lives, to protect the lands they love. Many may choose to join you in the end. But what of those unwilling or unable, for whom escape will never be an option? What would you have them do? To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, Father. It is indolence. This is why we choose to fight.
We'll not ask for your understanding, Father. Only that you don't turn a blind eye to the good we have done, that we can still do. We're not children in need of protection. Hold fast to your principles and let the world burn if it please. But we believe there is still another way. And if there is, we will find it. You see if we don't.
Do as you will. Just stay out of our way.
Are they trying to save everybody? Okay, I'm still kind of fixated on this because I feel like they were just trying to save themselves, but maybe not. Maybe not.
Were he not so consumed with self-righteousness, he might tell you how proud he is of you both.
Bold words call for bold action. And there'll be no turning to your father should plans go awry.
And it's true. But I don't think
As
they
if
were
I ever
intending
would.
it.
So long as there are those who wish to stay and fight for this star, we have to do what we can to help them.
And if we're to do that, we'll need to be well rested.
Oh no, they're suggesting rest again. What's going to happen now?
Wouldn't you agree? And having triumphed over what we once thought to be the source of all evil, I can think of no one in greater need of at least a dozen winks.
You know something bad is going to happen.
Shall we then? To the Annex, to prepare for tomorrow.
Kyle tells me the Forum made a rather momentous announcement, so there's to be a great exodus, is there? I'm reminded of my narrow escape from the Isle of Val. The realization, the running, the mixture of relief and regret after. Why me, I asked myself. Why me? Why us? Why now? Why wonder? There's no use fretting over the cosmic morality of lack thereof. We're here, and we'll get through this together. And who knows, maybe my luck will rub off and grant everyone a narrow escape. There's no harm in praying for as much. Oh, but enough of my rambling. I'm sure you're exhausted. Your chamber awaits. I don't know. Should I retire to my chamber, or should I do this next time? I feel like there might be cutscenes. Let's just finish this up. Oh, wait. Okay, complete. Let's just finish this up, and then that way I can start the next episode off on the next storyline. Another visit? A visitor has come knocking at your door. Whoever could it be? Wait, I can choose? I mean, I don't know. I'm torn between Estinian and Graha. I want Graha. Let's have Graha. Oh my god, it's actually him. Okay.
Oh, apologies. I didn't mean to... If you could spare a moment before bed.
Sure, of course. Anytime.
Thank you. I fear this may be the last quiet night we have to talk for quite some time.
I always have time for you, Graha. I mean, I have time for Estinian too. Don't get me wrong.
I am troubled of late. Unwarranted concerns, perhaps. I hope. Nevertheless, I feel compelled to share them with you. Though you have bested your enemies thus far, Xenos and even Zodiac, your victories have come at a considerable cost to yourself. No one is without their limits, and you are no exception. I worry the added weight of the final days will prove more than you can bear. It is surely too much for any one woman. But you needn't bear it alone. Let me share your burden. My, carrying capacity pales in comparison to yours, but I could still help. Shoulder the occasional satchel from your ever-growing mountain of, baggage.
Oh my god, you're so heckin' adorable. I can't. I cannot!
You have already done so much to help relieve me of mine own encumbrances. 'Tis only fair that I repay you in kind. Of course, it needn't be only troubles we share.
This is so sweet.
Moments of joy may seem few and far between now, but there will come a time when we look back fondly on this journey. The inquiry at the Forum, our march through the snows of Garlemald.
Oh, I'm sure one day,
our impromptu dinner in this very room.
Oh,
All
yeah!
of it.
That was the best. I'm always gonna remember that scene. It was so great.
And that is to say nothing of the journeys yet to come. To the ends of the world and beyond.
Yeah.
But tomorrow will be no less busy than today, and I've kept you from your rest long enough. Sleep well, my friend.
Thanks. You too. I love him so much. Yeah, we're gonna do this, I hope. Meanwhile, okay, I was wondering, a short while earlier in the Alamegan Quarter. Oh, in Alamigo. Why does it always have to be Alamigo?
Thank the gods that tower is gone. The sight of it was enough to make me sick.
Thank the Ilsabar contingent, more like. Word is, they fought their way into Garlemald and toppled the bloody thing themselves. Not just the one, neither. All the towers have up and vanished.
Aye, I heard the same. Commander Aldin and his troops helped keep casualties to a minimum, too. But is it true? They brought back tempered Garlean soldiers.
Uh-oh.
As Commander Aldin tells it, they've a treatment for that now. But don't you worry. Cured or not, they've no plans to bring them into the city proper.
I see. Well, that's a relief then.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've brothers and sisters among the lot, but I can't say I'm eager to welcome them home.
Who's that?
Wanted to think about it for a while yet. They're to be looked after in Alagana for the time being.
Who is that? Who the heck are you? Hello? What was that? Meanwhile, in Ishgard, you know, this whole expansion has been centering on emotion with the flower and all of that. Is that what's going to happen? What are you doing there?
Another day, another commission of paramount importance. Well, what have we here?
That's not looking so good. Okay, okay, back up. Something's wrong.
Hey, are you all right?
No, something's wrong.
Was that? No. The shadows play tricks, nothing more.
No.
The towers are gone, and the Garlean threat is abated. And yet, why does it feel as though it's about to get much, much worse.
Because it's going to. Yeah, that's my current running theory. Something's about to happen with emotions. Hello? Wait. That's, Radzat Han? That was Radzat Han, wasn't it? Okay, I gotta stop. I will pick this up in the next episode. My current running theory is that the way that the final days messed with the creation magic last time is going to somehow mess with, like, emotions this time. Because, I don't know, I feel like the theme of this whole expansion so far has been how people's emotions and their beliefs and all of that work to, you know, summon primals, and even it affects their magic sometimes. And, like, I think that that's what's gonna happen. I don't know how exactly, but that first guy that we saw with the shadows, he clearly had some sort of a reaction to the people that were talking badly about the Garleans, and then he had the shadows. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, I know I'm using my hands a lot, but, like, I'm trying to figure it all out. But anyway, that is where I'm going to end this video. This one's super long, but there was a lot happening. Hopefully you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you did. And you can follow me on all the social media I have linked down below. And until next time, I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye!